Usually, convicts are brought into the interrogation room for questioning and courtrooms for sentences and hearings, but sometimes these do not go as planned. Here we recount some of the craziest convict stories. Chad Brainholt. This is Chad Brainholt, who was killed by a police officer in the interrogation room.
What's going on today, dude?
I don't know. It's my car. It's her car.
You guys dating or married?
Brainholt arrived at his girlfriend's workplace, clearly intoxicated, prompting a concerned coworker to call the police.
Any alcohol?
Yeah, I took my dose of clonazepam and that's it.
Clonazepam, is that what it is?
Yeah.
What's clonazepam?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
What do you take it for then?
For anxiety.
Okay.
Look.
The reason why we're here is we want to make sure you're good to go about.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm okay.
What, did you guys get into an argument or something?
Yeah, she just, I don't know.
You don't know? What was the argument about? Was it about the car?
No, it wasn't about the car. It was about me being here.
Oh. Did she not want you here?
Yeah, she knows why I'm here.
Brainholt's girlfriend and her coworker expressed their worries to officers Matt Lane and Taylor Atkin. They were primarily concerned about his well-being, mentioning that he had taken a lot of pills and his breath reeked of alcohol.
Are you girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he told me that he called you for a bunch of pills. He has a prescription for an Alzheimer. I can't remember the name of the two pills.
That's like something for like depression.
Yeah.
Okay.
He suffers from depression.
Okay.
And so he's been just fine.
Did he say if he's been drinking any alcohol today?
No, but I thought I could smell it.
I could smell it.
Okay, so I'm not.
Yeah.
All right.
Although the officers didn't see Brainholt driving, surveillance footage confirmed he had. He blew a blood alcohol level of 0.162.
I walked here.
0.162.
Over 3 times Utah's legal limit of 0.05. Officer Lane arrested Brainholt, searching his pockets and finding no weapons before placing him in his patrol car, as shown in the footage.
Told us you drove here.
Yeah, you told me you drove here.
We have video of you driving here.
I walked here. Go ahead, place your hands behind your back. I walked here.
The officers then spent nearly 2 hours with Brainholt in the DUI processing room at police headquarters, filling out paperwork and waiting for assistance with an electronic warrant.
You mean Chad?
Chase.
Who's Chase?
That's me.
Are you Chase or are you Michael?
I'm Chase.
I understand it's more charges if you lie to me.
Yes.
So look up Chase, and I bet that's his brother or something.
If you're right, you don't go to jail. If you're wrong, I take you to jail.
You didn't take me to jail anyways.
At times, the officers ignored Brainholt's cries and pleas for help. Then their tone shifted, threatening him with a slew of additional charges. A charge for giving a false name, a felony for his 3rd DUI, and another felony for damaging police property after he started chewing on a breathalyzer cord. The atmosphere was a mix of indifference and intimidation, adding to the gravity of the situation.
He bit through it. Yeah, he straight up bit through the cord. Why would you bite through the cord? That's a Class A misdemeanor for giving somebody else's information to a police officer.
That sucks.
What's the, Never mind, I got it.
At one point, Brainholt flipped onto the concrete floor, crying, his hands still cuffed behind his
Where you
back.
going, bud? You can take a nap if you want. You alright? So a lot of drunk people have peed on that floor?
Yeah.
I'm not sure you want to lay there. Do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What for?
Heart hurts.
Your heart hurts?
Yeah.
The officers left him there for over 11 minutes while they waited for a medical crew from the fire department. They informed the crew that Brainholt had taken medication, but failed to mention his girlfriend's concern about him possibly being suicidal.
Oh, yeah.
Sit up on your butt, alright?
Yeah.
You gotta help me. Sit right there, okay?
That's whatever he said.
Yeah, incarcerated, exactly. He just kind of flopped over, fell on the ground, and said his heart hurts. We'll take him to jail. There's medical staff there. Thanks for that.
After being cleared by the medical crew, an officer hoisted Brainholt back into the chair. This video shows that Officer Longman, not part of the initial arrest, arrived at the station to assist Lane and Atkin, who were newer officers needing help with an electronic warrant. Brainholt pleaded with the officers to take him to the Huntsman Mental Health Institute, known as UNI, but they refused.
Got checked out, everything is fine. Okay, you're just trying to get out of your DUI. So you need to sit there like a man and take it. I'm not trying to get a DUI.
Not long after that, Brainholt stood and told Officer Atkin, "I have a gun in my pants." Atkin laughed it off. Soon after, Brainholt tried to remove his shoe. Atkins quipped, "Is there a gun in your shoe too?" Moments later, Brainholt stood back up again, and Atkins grabbed his shirt, guiding him back to the chair as Brainholt murmured, "There's a gun in my shoe."
There's a gun in my shoe.
Yeah, sit down.
There's a gun in my shoe.
Okay, sit down.
Alright.
I'll get the gun out. You sit down.
Atkin didn't seem alarmed. The officer left Brainholt for a moment and returned as Brainholt mumbled.
Tell you what, give me your shoe.
No.
Yeah.
Not getting in my shoe.
Oh my gosh, you gotta be freaking kidding me.
I got it.
Okay, fuck, he's got my gun! He's got my gun!
Atkins decided to take Brainholt's shoe, but Brainholt refused to comply. Atkin and another officer, Raymond Wilhelm, then lifted Brainholt out of the chair to remove the shoe while Officer Longman stood outside the small room. Brainholt, still handcuffed, with his hand on the officer's gun as Wilhelm and Atkins began to wrestle with him. The gun remained in its holster. Longman rushed into the room, drew his firearm, and grabbed Brainholt's head. He yelled, "You're about to die, my friend," and fired the fatal shot. It all happened in just 6 seconds. Shooting a convict who was handcuffed and posed no danger can be disturbing. But our next victim was left in police custody, coughing out blood and later dying in the hospital. Meet Xavier Franklin, a man in Texas whose video footage surfaced showing him coughing up blood before passing away while in police custody. It all began on June 21 at 11 a.m. at the Dallas Police Department, and they conducted a traffic stop involving a person of interest in an ongoing murder investigation when they ran into Xavier Franklin during a traffic stop.
And you got a Texas ID or Mississippi or
I just got a Texas ID last Thursday.
Okay, cool. What's your last name?
Franklin.
I'm sorry?
Franklin.
Last name?
Franklin.
That is Franklin? Okay.
No,
Your first name, brother?
Huh?
Your first name?
Xavier. XC.
X?
C. A-V. A-E-R.
A-R?
I-E-R.
I-E-R.
After being stopped and identified, Franklin was arrested in connection with the murder investigation. Franklin is seen being searched by police and placed in the back seat of a squad car in footage released by the police.
Can you step up for me, brother? Step up for me real quick. Let's go put you in handcuffs. You're just detained right now. No big deal.
You got any weapons on you, boss? I'll pat you down real quick, alright? Good.
He was brought to the Dallas Police Headquarters for an interview regarding the ongoing probe. Officials at the station placed Franklin in an interview room and informed him that he would soon talk with a detective. Franklin mentioned feeling sick and needing to visit the hospital. Franklin started to show signs of physical discomfort while in detention. During the interview, he is seen throwing up in a garbage bin. Paper towels are brought in and Franklin mentions he is throwing up blood. He can be heard moaning and grunting as he uses a paper towel to clean his face.
Hey, let me know if you need more tissue, but they are on their way, okay?
I'm gonna take your hat real quick, okay? You okay?
No.
What's wrong?
I just thought of blood.
From what?
Huh?
From what?
I just had a withdrawal. I'm a recovered alcoholic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I think they got an ambulance coming, okay? Hang in there.
What's going on, bro? What's going on with you, man?
I just thought of blood.
Want to check you out here? What you want to do?
Huh?
So want to check you out? Bad.
Early this morning.
Early this morning? It's a real still for me. What kind of medical problems you got?
Pancreatitis.
Who?
Pancreatitis.
Okay.
How long you had that?
I like to go out and see you.
So you drink a lot?
Franklin was taken to a nearby hospital by the Dallas Fire Rescue Department as soon as they noticed something was wrong.
I already went to the hospital.
So you already been?
So I'd rather go.
You rather go to the hospital?
What's up? Yes.
However, Franklin did not survive. At 3:15 p.m., despite his efforts, Franklin unfortunately passed away. It's unclear what specific illness Franklin was dealing with at the time, but it ultimately contributed to his death. An autopsy conducted on June 23, 2020, has not yet made its findings public. Franklin's death was devastating, but how would you compare it with this man who tried to steal a police officer's gun while in an interrogation room? This man, Thomas Robinson, was accused of killing a teen at a Westwood apartment complex, but he tried to take an officer's gun at the police station, and it was recorded on a surveillance camera. Joseph Reno Armstrong was shot and killed at the Western Glen Apartments on Montana Avenue on June 16. Police brought in Robinson for questioning regarding Armstrong's murder. While an officer was exchanging his handcuffs, Robinson made a desperate attempt to grab for the officer's gun. Chaos erupted as the two struggled, and additional officers rushed into the room. Amid the commotion, Robinson repeatedly shouted, "Kill me." One officer used a taser to subdue him. A judge ordered Robinson to be held on a $1,565,000 bond, facing charges of murder, aggravated robbery, and assault. Adding to his legal troubles, Robinson now faced a new drug and gun charge, as police discovered heroin in his sock and a firearm on him during his arrest. As a convicted felon, Robinson is prohibited from possessing a gun. Stopping an insane suspect who tries to act like James Bond is one thing, but sometimes the threats come from the police officers themselves, choosing not to pay attention to the suspect's health while the interrogation was going on. This is Ryan Waller, a suspect who had been interrogated for more than an hour while having a bullet wound on his forehead, which later led to his death later. On the afternoon of December 23, 2006, Ryan and his girlfriend were relaxing in the living room, or perhaps their own room, when Larry Carver and his son Richie appeared at the door, driven by a desire for revenge over a past altercation. Richie has been known for several assaults.
Richie, he's 24 years old at this time. He has an extensive juvenile history, but back when he was 17 years old, there was a man stopped at an intersection in the neighborhood, and he walked up to a car and he stabbed a man in the chest with a knife. He stole the guy's wallet from the guy and the guy's CDs, and he tried to make it home. I don't know if he made it home or not, but he ended up getting caught, and he served almost 4 years in prison. So he had only been out of prison about a year and a half up until this time. So this guy is already an ex-con who obviously has shown that he has no...
Ryan and Heather were living in a house they shared with another roommate, Alicia, who was out that day. The couple had only been in the house located at the end of a cul-de-sac for about a month and a half. When they arrived at Waller's door, they rang the bell, prompting Ryan to check who was there. Recognizing the visitors, he hesitated to open the door. Despite this, Larry Carver and his son Richie forced their way inside. As Ryan tried to shut the door, Richie thrust his arm through and shot Ryan twice in the head.
I had seen this, and they've got reports just from watching the actual interrogation. At one point, the detective says, "Who is Richie?" And Ryan said he used to live there. And the detective said, was your roommate? And Ryan said, maybe, or maybe he might have been, or something like that. He says, how long did he live with you for? And Ryan said, I don't know, a week maybe, you know, but that was just...
Right.
And when did Richie live with you?
I don't know, like a week, man.
When?
I don't know.
Like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago?
Maybe.
After shooting Ryan, Richie then went to the room where Heather, Ryan's girlfriend, was sitting on the couch and shot her dead. The father-son duo apparently killed her to eliminate any witnesses. After the brutal attack, they stole some weapons and a computer from the house before fleeing the scene. According to police reports, the shootings took place on the afternoon of Christmas Day 2006. Ryan's father, Don, had tried calling his son and his girlfriend several times that day to remind them about Christmas dinner. When he received no response, Don and his wife, Ryan's mother, decided to drive to their son's house. Upon arrival, they looked through the windows and rang the doorbell, but there was no answer. Growing concerned, they eventually contacted the police for assistance.
Absolutely bizarre timing, but the original, we got there at 10 to 8 and got there, knocked on the door, no response, so called the police and figured we were going to do the right thing and said worried about our son. He hadn't shown up for Christmas dinner, had tried to call him before dinner, during dinner, after dinner, and after dinner I just said something's got to be wrong. So we went to his house, and he had just moved in a month and a half before, and he had the garage door closed, so I wasn't even sure if he was home or not, but we knocked on the door and everything, no response. So I called the police and said, hey, you know, we're worried about our son. This isn't like him. He's not the type of kid that would be passed out drunk or something like that, and just want to make sure that, you know, everything's okay. And you just talked to the dispatcher at that time, so dispatcher said, okay, we'll have an officer get back with you. So we made the call at 10 to 8. So
interestingly, Alicia arrived at the house before the police discovered the bodies of Ryan and Heather, but she never checked their room. Strangely, she also never encountered Don and his wife, despite them having searched the house earlier in the day while it was still daylight.
In between that time that we made the original call, we had gone and got some coffee, and sometime in that period, Alicia had come home. So after we got back the second time, we were there, and police came back, or when we called them, they said, we'll come out to the house. So a half hour later, 2 patrol cars show up, and so the officers out in front of the house along with us, and they knocked on the doors and windows, and she was home and back in her bedroom, but she didn't realize we were there earlier trying to knock and get in, and she just figured Ryan would get the door.
Shortly after, the police arrived. They knocked on Ryan and Heather's room but received no response. The officers eventually spotted the bodies through the vertical blinds. They quickly handcuffed the wounded Ryan and escorted him to their car, without allowing Don and his wife to see their son or taking him to the hospital.
They go into the house, and about 3 minutes later, they come out with somebody in handcuffs, and I wasn't sure if it was my son, because after they made us leave the front of the house, they put crime scene tape up from the house on either side of him. He's at the very end of a cul-de-sac, so we were maybe 50, 75 feet back, and I was on one side of the cul-de-sac, and his mother was on the other side, and as they're bringing this person out, I could see the side of whoever's face, whoever they were bringing out, I could see there was damage to the face, and his mom that was on the other side, she said, that's Ryan. And so as they put in the police car, I tried to go into the police car, and this officer comes up and he says, don't you dare go near that car. And I'm crying, I'm saying, sir, I just want to see if my son's okay and what's going on. And he yells at me, we're doing an investigation, you stay away from that car. And I tried to take another step towards the car to go see him, because I'm very upset, obviously. And the officer steps in front of me, chest bumps me, and he says, take another step, take another step. And he's taunting me, and here I'm crying. I'm a grown man, I'm crying because I worried about my son. So I step back, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to go to jail on Christmas night, and he's in the police car. So about 5 minutes later, a fire truck and an ambulance pull up, and they go into the house, and come out of the house maybe 5-10 minutes later, and they drive off, and Ryan's still sitting in the police car, and nobody looked at him, but I'm thinking, well, that's a good thing they're not taking anyone to the hospital. I don't know Heather's dead inside the house at all. I know nothing like that, but they drive off, and then I get an officer's attention, and I said, sir, will you please just let me see my son? I want to see if he feels okay. And he says, your son's fine, he just has a black eye.
Ryan remained in the patrol car for 4 hours without receiving any medical attention. It wasn't until around 5 a.m. the next day that he was taken to the interrogation station. Detective Paul Doughton questioned Ryan, who was still injured and in pain. Watching Ryan's reaction during the interrogation, he is absolutely in pain and dying. During the interrogation, Ryan said little, repeatedly expressing that he just wanted to sleep.
I just want to go to sleep.
I don't want you to go to sleep. Okay?
I don't know. I just want to go to sleep, man. That's it.
Okay, Ryan?
Then police questioned Ryan about Richie and other matters, with the detective apparently reportedly attempting to coax a confession from Ryan, suggesting that he had killed Heather. However, Ryan never admitted to it.
No, I don't know why. I don't know why. She probably hit it on something. I don't know.
She hit what on something?
I don't know.
There's a dead girl in your living room.
She's dead?
Yes.
Heather?
I don't know. I want to know what happened in your house last night.
The girl on the couch is dead?
I don't know. If she's on the couch, she's dead.
Well, these people came over, Richie and his dad, with shooting arrow, bow, and darts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They hit me and her with those. That's it. And Heather wasn't there. Eric wasn't there. It was just me and Heather was there.
You and Heather were there. And then what happened?
And that's it. Richie and his dad tried to break in to the back.
Richie and Dad? His dad?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Richie?
I don't know.
Well, you obviously know him. You know his name by Richie.
He used to live there.
Was he a roommate of yours?
He used to be.
They hit you and... They hit you?
Yeah.
Now it's Richie that hit you, not Heather?
No, Richie and his dad.
Richie and his dad. They hit you?
Yes.
Why?
Because they're trying to get their stuff. I don't know why.
And they had some kind of bow and arrows?
Mm-hmm. They each had 2 revolvers and they didn't let off any shells.
Okay, you just said they had bow and arrows. Now they have revolvers?
That's what I meant. They had revolvers.
They have revolvers?
Yes.
And then what happened?
And then they shot us with those.
They shot both of you?
Yeah.
Where'd they shoot you at?
I got shot in the eye.
You got shot in the eye?
I think so.
With a revolver?
I think. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Fuck. Then what happened?
I don't know.
You don't know a lot, Ryan.
I don't, man. I really don't.
Did you shoot Heather?
Mm-mm.
I heard you have a lot of guns in your house.
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
Well, you know we're gonna look.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, why don't you tell me what really happened there? Because I don't believe...
I really don't know, man. I really don't. I don't know. I can tell you anything, I swear.
Well, I want you to tell me the truth. That's all I want.
Richie and his dad came there. And I don't know why. I don't know why.
It was only after several hours of interrogation that Ryan finally received medical attention. Later, the police informed Don that his son was in critical condition. Doctors later told Don that the delay in providing medical care caused Ryan to develop a severe infection.
It looks like it went right through, huh?
Yeah, it might have. I don't know.
Let's just do blood pressure on
I got these 9:30 last night. It's like no blood drop. Yeah, there's nothing.
Ryan spent 35 days in the hospital recovering, during which he lost a section of his brain. He permanently lost his left eye and even after being discharged, continued to suffer from seizures for several years. Richie and Larry were eventually arrested and charged with murder. Both were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Police delays in attending to Ryan's health actually led to the dysfunction of his brain, leading to his death. But how will it compare to the case where police officers left a man who swallowed cocaine to die in the interrogation room? This is Harold Easter, a 41-year-old black man in North Carolina who died of an apparent cocaine overdose while in police custody after being arrested for drug possession and a traffic violation. On the fateful day of January 23, 2020, law enforcement authorities apprehended Harold Easter following an alleged observation of him making a drug sale.
That's all. I ain't want him to get in trouble, man. We ain't got no gun or nothing else.
As Harold brought this vehicle to a halt, the officers swiftly approached with alarming urgency, wielding their weapons driven with the intent to uncover his attempt at concealing the evidence. Harold said that he had some weed, but he did not say that he had crack cocaine.
We had some weed. He wanted to smoke a blunt. My man just got out. We had some weed. That's all. Hands up! I ain't got nothing, man. I just picked him up to smoke a blunt, man. He just got home, man. I was just wanting to smoke him, let him smell some weed, that's all.
Instead of handing it over, he resorted to an unsafe act right before the officer's eyes. Harold defiantly placed a rock of the substance into his mouth and proceeded to swallow it, completely disregarding the imminent risks associated with such action. That's really dangerous. It is vital to emphasize that even the slightest consumption of this substance can pose serious health hazards. In Harold's case, the amount he ingested proved fatal. Given the gravity of the situation, it was compulsory for the officer to swiftly summon medical assistance and promptly transport him to a hospital for urgent treatment. But their only motive was to get him into custody with what they had.
Stick your tongue out.
What, man? I don't want you.
Why would you not look at me and do that? Look at me. Open your mouth, stick your tongue out.
It's gay, man.
Open your mouth, stick your tongue out. Lift your tongue out. Keep your mouth open.
I don't got that in my mouth. That's what I tell you.
You got crack all over your tongue.
No.
Hold up.
Oh.
My bad.
Hey,
that's on me.
Listen, he don't got nothing to do with that, man. He just got home. They just got in the Jeep, and I was going to get me a haircut. That's all.
Straight. Just lean up against the car area, man. Hands up against the car. Hands up against the car. Hands up against the car.
Oh, I ain't know.
You good? Got crack all over his tongue.
Yeah, he was trying to eat it. Because I ain't want him to get in trouble. I was gonna smoke me a rock fly, you know what I'm saying? I smoke flies, you feel?
Once they got him in the vehicle, they left him in the vehicle for 10 minutes before driving him back to the police station. At that time, Harold appeared to be normal while he was talking, but once they arrived at the police station, the cocaine started to kick in.
Let me get the sip of water first. I ain't got shit on me.
Harold, you want to calm down for a minute, man?
I need water. And I gotta piss.
Step over here for me. Somebody's in
first before I piss.
Open up for me.
I ain't got shit.
Stop moving your head. Tilt your head down.
There are 3 stages that occur when someone overdoses on cocaine. This is stage 1, which includes hypertension, hyperthermia, and an increase in body temperature. The second stage can be seen as seizures, increased deep tendon reflexes, and incontinence. The third stage includes fixed and dilated pupils, loss of vital functions, and finally death. The officers were completely aware of what was going on with Harold, but they just checked on him, noted the high body temperature, and left the interrogation room. They saw the signs, which often included shifts in behavior or mood. Someone in the beginning stages of cocaine toxicity can easily become confused, paranoid, and intentionally violent, making them a danger to themselves and others. Even an untrained observer would quickly distinguish that Harold was exhibiting clear signs of being under the influence. His heightened level of talkativeness, restlessness, and disregard for his surroundings were blatant indicators of his altered state. Harold was constantly asking for water and needed to use the bathroom, but unfortunately, they refused to give him permission. Finally, an officer brought in water. The officer was really scared to get near Harold, but asked, "Why are you yelling?" The officer left the room immediately after giving him water to avoid any incidents with Harold. The cops thought the dosage was safe and were waiting for it to fade before starting the interrogation, but they were unaware that it was getting worse. The rock that Harold took was not safe, and once they realized it, it was too late to react. After about 40 minutes, he's seen slumping over the interview table, moaning. And within 2 minutes, he falls off the table onto the floor and begins having seizures. The occurrence of a seizure marked the critical stage of toxicity, signifying a severe deterioration in his overall health. During a seizure, the body underwent intense convulsions, causing a loss of muscle control. As a result, the oxygen supply to his brain and vital organs may have been compromised, leading to further complications. The impact of such intoxication on Harold's body became increasingly evident, with the potential for irregular heart rhythms and skipped beats further endangering his well-being. It would be another 7 minutes before officers noticed and began providing assistance, but it was already too late. There was no chance to save his life. Harold was taken to the hospital where he was admitted to the emergency room and died 3 days later of cocaine intoxication. All 5 officers involved in the arrest were recommended for termination but resigned before their cases could be reviewed. No charges were brought against the police officers who arrested Harold. What do you think about these cases? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. And thank you for watching.